March 1st. Our guest today is Mrs. Cotter. Good morning.
Good morning.
Would you like to tell us about yourself?
Oh, I'd love to. My name is Jane Cotter and I teach 3rd grade. I'm married to a man named Chris Cotter, who's also a teacher. He teaches physics at Mountain View High School. I have a baby son, and he's almost not a baby anymore. He'll be 1 year old in 1 week. And he's running around our house already chasing our 2 cats, Wanda and Katja, and he's talking and saying kitty. His very first words were, "Hi, Wanda." I like to travel. I've been traveling around the country. I've been to almost every state in our country, and I've also traveled outside of the country, and we enjoy that. My husband and I like to backpack and we like to camp, but we haven't been doing that very much with our new baby. I enjoy reading books. I know all of you are reading your 25 books, and I try to read at least one big interesting book a month. My classroom is a great place. I have a marvelous classroom full of students, and we're studying right now about the solar system. We've been to the planetarium, and we're getting ready to do reports and then a great big vacation trip to the solar system. So that should be a fun time for us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Happy birthday to Carly Pesci, who is turning 10, and Edward McGann, who's 9 today. Lunch today is chicken filet on a bun, tossed salad, ABC fries, and diced pears. The thought for the day is, you'll never get a second chance to make a first impression. Do you shop at Fry's? Well, we need more Fry's receipts. They must be dated before March 16th to be eligible. If you do shop at Fry's, please save your receipts. Congratulations for those who have read their 25 books. For those of you who haven't, keep reading. The contest ends on May 1st. For all track team members, there will be track practice today after school. Please meet out on the basketball court. So Sean, what's happening in world news?
Good morning. This is Sean Green with the weekly news update. First in world news, a CIA agent and his wife, Maria, were arrested for allegedly selling U.S. secrets to other Soviet and Russian agents. They are accused of taking more than $1.5 million over the past 9 years for passing classified information and revealing the identities of U.S. spies working in their countries. We still don't know how much their information will harm our national security. In the national news, the Brady gun law went into effect yesterday, requiring that anyone buying a gun from a licensed gun dealer must have their criminal records checked. Hopefully, this will decrease the illegal uses of guns. Also, McDonald's banned smoking from its 1,400 company-owned restaurants. This ban will reduce the hazards of secondhand smoke to these kids. In local news, last Tuesday afternoon, a man robbed the Bank of America in Tucson after handing the teller a man note and fleeing with the money. The police arrested the man after noticing that the man's address was on the back of the note, if he only had a brain. So Lisa, what's happening in sports?
Well, the Olympic Games are over now. The United States won 12 medals, and 6 of those were gold medals. One of the high points is that Nancy Kerrigan almost won a gold medal. She came close by winning a silver medal. Ukraine's 16-year-old Oksana Bayol won the gold, but Nancy Kerrigan won the $1 million investments of Reebok shoes, Disney Productions, Revlon Cosmetics, and Campbell Soup. As for Tanya Harding, many feel she would make a good commercial for the anti-car theft device, the club. Now on to basketball. The Wildcats beat Oregon and Oregon State last week, and now we're in a tie for the Pac-10 title. There are only 3 games left in this whole season. So Lindsay, what's happening with the weather?
Hi, I'm Lindsay Carpenter bringing you this week's weather report. Temperatures throughout the state continue to average 5 to 6 degrees above normal, while the rest of the nation suffers from cold and snowstorms. Temperatures in Tucson range from lows in the 40s to highs in the upper 70s. From all of us at Hawk TV News, have a great week.
And now, Hawk TV News. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, March 8th. Our guest today Mr. Moser. Hello.
Hello.
Would you like to tell us a little more about yourself?
Sure. My name is Mr. Moser, and I teach 4th grade here at Copper Creek. I've been here about 5 years and enjoy teaching a lot. One of the biggest parts of my life, of course, is my family. My wife, Kristen, my daughter, Christina, my son, Lee. Lee is a 1st grader here with Mrs. Wright, and my daughter, Christina, will be entering Copper Creek next fall. In my spare time, I enjoy watching basketball and baseball. And my favorite baseball team, of course, is the Toronto Blue Jays, world champions. My favorite basketball team is the next basketball world champions, the Phoenix Suns. In my classroom, we're doing a couple interesting projects. We're constructing salt maps of countries, and Jasmine Kushki put this salt map together of the country of Iran. And this Friday, the students are going to be asked to label on a test 120 countries that they've memorized the place for. So it's quite a challenge for them, but I think they can do it. In science, the students have worked on weather stations, and I'll pull it up here for you. You can see we take a weather reading each day here at Copper Creek so we can forecast the weather right from Copper Creek. We have a barometer up here. We have an anemometer down here that tests the wind speed. So we're excited to study both countries of the world and the weather. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Everyone at Copper Creek is responsible for keeping the playground free from litter. Please pick up all trash whenever or wherever you see it. Friday, there will be no Parks and Recs. Today's lunch is beef nuggets, hot roll, mashed potatoes, green beans, and mixed fruit. Happy birthday to Brianna Ross, who is 11, Jamie Schumacher, who is 10, Jennifer Platt, who is 7, and Ed Scott, who is 11 today. The thought for the day is, never underestimate the power of a kind word or deed. Okay, Sean, what's happening in the world news?
Good morning. This is Sean Green with the weekly news update. First in world news, for the first time in its 44-year history, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, has used military force. 4 Bosnian Serb aircraft were shot down after repeatedly ignoring to leave the United Nations no-fly zone. In national news, President Clinton signed an executive order giving him authority to impose strong punishments on Japan if it fails to open its foreign trade markets. We hope that the threat of these sanctions will not start a trade war. In other news, video game makers promised Congress that they would start to use a rating system similar to the movie rating system before Christmas. Finally, in local news, the city of Tucson has joined 4 other cities bidding to host the 1997 Senior Olympics. Comparers must be at least 55 years old. Will your grandmother win a medal? So, Lisa, what's happening in sports?
The U of A Wildcats have 1 game left in the regular season. We are currently in first place in the Pac-10. This is the last season for 3 Arizona seniors, Khalid Reeves, Dylan Rigdon, and Kevin Flanagan. They will all be missed. At the amphitheater track meet, every student from Copper Creek that went did great. In the relay race, the Copper Creek girls finished first, and the Copper Creek boys finished second. Way to go, Copper Creek. In the world of track and field, Jackie Joyner Kersey hurt her foot while doing hurdles at the U.S. indoor track meet. She went from first place to last place. She is still the best hope among female women athletes for a gold medal at the Summer Olympics. Wow, Lindsay, what a storm.
You're right. Yesterday we were hit by a whopper. Some people in Tucson spotted a funnel cloud. One of the roofs were blown off. You can expect this week's temperatures to be a bit cooler than last week's, but highs today will be in the low 60s with a chance of continued showers. The rest of the week it will be cooler and breezy until Friday when things should warm up a bit. From all of us at Hawk TV News, have a great week.
And now, Hawk TV News. Hi, I'm JC Our guest today is Mrs. Hoffman, who works in the office, library, and in the playground monitor. Good morning, Mrs. Hoffman. Did you miss us?
Yes, I did miss you. It was very quiet on the playground during the intercession break. Welcome back.
Could you tell us a little more about yourself?
Well, I have two sons, Andrew in the 4th grade, Miss Duncan's class, and I have Kenneth at Cross. He's in the 7th grade. And we moved here from Connecticut, and we're very happy to live here in Arizona. We've been here for 2 years now. The weather's great. We love the mountains. I'm also involved in the Cub Scouts here at Copper Creek. My son Andrew, I'm his den leader. My son Kenneth, I also work with his Boy Scout troop.
Thank you. Today is Tuesday, April 5th. The birthdays today are Anya Caddy, Sean Rivera, Ian Scott, Stephanie Reynolds, and Travis Rempe. Happy birthday. The lunch today is breaded beef steak, hot roll, mashed potatoes with gravy, tossed salad, and glazed cherries. The thought for the day is, don't take good friends, good health, and a good marriage for granted. There will be a very important student council meeting today after all the buses leave. Please arrange for transportation at 2:30. Student council members need to attend. Staff members, if you're planning to attend our social this Saturday evening, please be sure to drop your payment in Maggie's box no later than this Wednesday. This week, the computer lab will not be open for use. And Wednesday, tomorrow, April 6th, come to school ready for spring pictures. The 1994 ARCO Jesse Owens Track and Field Day is coming on April 16th. This is a fun day, and you can advance and get to go to Disneyland. For those who are interested, you can pick up registration forms in the office. So, Sean, what's happening in world news?
Good morning. I'm Sean Green for the Weekly News Update. First in world news, the United States has pulled all its troops out of the African country of Somalia. They had been there for 15 months helping to restore order and feed the starving people. In national news, the Labor Department is proposing that smoking be prohibited in all workplaces. This would make cleaner air for everyone, but we can expect the tobacco industry to fight this ban. In local news, Tucson has decided to hire the police chief from Ann Arbor, Michigan to be our new police chief. The new chief says he is familiar with Tucson because he has vacationed here for the past 25 years. Finally, the doll, Barbie, became 35 years old in March. A special edition doll will be on the market in June to celebrate the 35 years. Barbie is sold in 140 countries. One Barbie is sold every 2 seconds. It's a good thing they don't eat much. Kara, the Wildcats basketball team is coming home today.
Yes, I'm Kara O'Connor, substituting for Lisa Dean. Today the Wildcats are expected to return home from Charlotte, North Carolina, to a big pep rally parade that will be held at 1:30. The winner for the battle of the NCAA championship was the Arkansas Razorbacks. The final score was 76-72 Arkansas. The Arizona Wildcats will play basketball one last time. They'll play against the Wild Chairs. It's called Lame for a Game. It will be held at the McHale Center on April 6, 1994 at 7 p.m. What a great season they had. Wow, Lindsay, what nice weather for spring.
You're right. Hi, I'm Lindsay Carpenter with your weather. It will be a great spring if the nice weather keeps up. The weather for this week is going to be in the high 80s. But don't worry, because when the low winds come rolling in, things should cool down a bit. From all of us at Hawk TV News, have a great week.
And now, Hawk TV News.
Good morning. Today is April 12th. Our guest today is Miss Marta. Good morning, Miss Marta.
Good morning, JC.
Would you like to tell us about yourself?
Sure. My name is Mary Claire Smyrda, and everybody knows me as MC, and I teach 5th grade at Copper Creek. I can't believe it's my 16th year of teaching 5th grade in the Amphi School District. And if you're wondering who this is my dog, Bear. He is 4 years old, and he is 3/4 Samoyed and 1/4 White German Shepherd. The kids in my class and some other kids at Copper Creek know him very well already. I wanted everybody else to meet him. And in my spare time, when I'm not here at Copper Creek, I love to stay active. I work out at the gym, I run, I love to ski, scuba dive. Last summer, I learned how to play golf, so I'm looking forward to getting much better at it this summer. Thanks for having me on today. And Bear says, woof woof, too.
Thanks. Attention all you 5th graders going to Cross. There's a Cross open house Wednesday, April 13th, 6:30 to 8 o'clock in the multipurpose room. Also, Wednesday, April 13th is the deadline for the next PTO newsletter. Any news items or student work should be given to Linda Hart. If you are a student council member, you need to bring in your M&Ms and Starbursts today. The 4th graders' garden will be harvesting soon. Please come and visit. Mrs. Flannery's 4th graders want you to help them collect as many cans of food as possible for the food bank. Remember, it takes you to fill the boxes at the carnival and in the hallway this Friday. Your support of this project is enormously appreciated. The thought for the day is, be brave, even if you're not, pretend to be. No one can tell the difference. The birthdays today are Natalie Ward, Richard Rauscher, Richard Erickson, Jason Keithley, Adam Waslewski, and Ashley Shaw. Happy birthday. So Sean, what's happening in world news?
Good morning. This is Sean Green with the weekly news update. In the national news, 11 brands of crayons imported from China, including one brand sold at Toys R Us, contain enough lead to be harmful to children and should be thrown away or returned for refunds. A spokesman at Toys R Us said the crayons had been pulled from the 249 stores. In local news, 2 former Biospherians were arrested for breaking the seals on the doors and leaving them open for 15 minutes in an attempt to terminate the experiment. Abigail Illing said the new managers do not know how to safely operate Biosphere 2, so she tried to end it for the well-being of the current 7-member crew. Finally, in world news, Pope John Paul II celebrated Mass inside the restored Sistine Chapel, marking the completion of a 14-year effort to clean the famed Michelangelo fresco, which is painted on the ceiling of the chapel. It took him 4 years to complete the painting in the early 1500s, all while lying on his back. 4 years lying down gives you such a crick in the back. So Lisa, who won the Masters Golf Tournament?
Well, Jose Maria Olazabal won the Masters Golf Tournament on Sunday. The University of Arizona girls softball team split a doubleheader on Saturday with UNLV, winning the first game 9-1 and losing the second game 7-6. With the wins over the weekend, their record is 40 wins and 2 losses. Saturday, the Sabre Cats beat the Dorados 7-0 in baseball. CDO Little League had a big opening ceremonies on Saturday, including appearances by the reporter Joe Donlin and football players Werner Smith and Teddy Bruschi. It is your last chance to enter the Arco Jesse Owens track meet. It will be held at Amphi High this Saturday. The forms are in the office. Wow, Lindsay, I've heard there's been a lot of flooding.
Yes. Most of the southwestern part of the U.S. has posted flood warnings because of the heavy rainfall. For the rest of the week, temperatures here in Tucson will be booming from 70s to the high of 88 today. Tomorrow you can expect the temperatures to soar up to 90. It looks like we'll all have a nice weekend. From all of us at Hawk TV News, have a great week.
And now, Hawk TV News.
Good morning. Today's April 19th. The lunch today is a chicken fillet on a bun, lettuce leaf with potato, fries, and fresh fruit. Selena Fickett in Mrs. Roush's room submitted the thought for the day. If you would like to be treated nice, be nice to others. The birthdays today are Kathleen Gorman, who is 6, Brianne Ladd, who is 10, James Tanner, who is also 10, Jessica Robeson, who is 9, Peter Robeson, who is 9, and Amy Vidito, who is also 9. Now Mr. Kaner has a special message.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. This is show business time of year, and I'm here to announce that the 5th grade is going to put on a big show about vacations, everyone's favorite topic. And we're going to have tryouts, and Miss Minnow's, people in Miss Minnow's class, Miss Castle's, or Miss Schmurda's class, if they want to have a speaking part, they show up in my classroom after they've eaten lunch today. So let's have a lot of faces and a lot of big actors. Thanks a lot for allowing me to come down here and give that news brief.
Thanks. Attention all staff members. Today at 2 o'clock p.m. there's an important but short staff meeting. Staff members should attend. Do you recycle? Don't forget that this week Student Council is sponsoring a recycling project, Copper Creek Saves the Earth. Kindergarten will be recycling paper grocery bags, 1st grade plastic containers, 2nd grade plastic grocery bags, 3rd tin and steel cans, 4th newspaper, and 5th grade aluminum cans. Please bring your recycles to your classroom any day this week. Remember the big skating parties tomorrow, April 20th, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So Sean, what's happening in world news?
Good morning. This is Sean Green with the Weekly News Update. First in world news, an Ohio teenager has been sentenced to 6 lashes with a cane for spray painting several cars in Singapore. President Clinton has protested the punishment, which leaves permanent scars. But former President Bush says, you do the crime, you do the time. In national news, 2 F-15 fighter jets like my father used to fly tragically shot down 2 American Black Hawk helicopters, which were carrying 26 people through the no-fly zone in northern Iraq. An investigation has been launched to determine the blame for this latest case of fatal friendly fire. Finally, in local news, Governor Fife Symington signed a bill Wednesday allowing adults to carry concealed weapons after meeting certain conditions and getting a permit. One of the conditions that must be met is an attendance to a 16-hour firearms safety course. The only drawback is that no such safety course exists. So Lisa, who won the PGA Senior Championship?
Well, Lee Trevino won the PGA Seniors Championship Sunday in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Terry Labonte, the race car driver, won a race after not winning one for 6 years. He won the first Union 400 on Sunday. The Dodgers demolished the Pirates 19-2. Well, now that Michael Jordan is playing baseball, he likes to steal bases. That seems to be his favorite part because he does it a lot, and he does it well. So Jason, what's happening in the weather?
Good morning, Copper Creek. I'm Jason Coyne, subbing for Lindsay Carpenter. While it's raining this morning on the East Coast and windy all across the Ohio Valley, we Tucsonans can look for yesterday's cloud cover to clear by this afternoon. Temperatures are running 10 to 15 above normal. Look for sunny days all this week, with highs in the 90s and mild nights cooling down to the 70s. This is Jason Coyne saying goodbye. From all of us at Hawk TV News, have a great week, and don't forget that sunscreen.
Happy trails to you, until we meet again. Happy trails to you.
And now, Hawk TV News.
Good morning. I'm JC Summers with the Copper Creek News. Today is April 26th. Our guest today is Mrs. Wright. So what grade do you teach?
Well, I teach 1st grade, and today the 1st grade's having our track and field meet. And hopefully Mrs. Wright's class wins the tug of war. Our class was studying Native Americans a couple weeks ago, and we were lucky enough to have the Indian Oasis first grade class come and visit us. I grew up in Kansas, and this summer in the Land of Oz, and this summer I plan to go back and visit my friends and family. I'm married. My husband's name is Phil, and he coaches baseball at CDO, and right now CDO's ranked number 8 in the country. So,
Go CDO.
go CDO. This is my little boy KC. He loves CDO baseball games. In fact, I think he thinks he's a CDO baseball player. Well, thank you very much for having us today.
Thank you. Today we have no birthdays. Darn. But we do have a hot lunch today, which is chicken nuggets, hot roll, mashed potatoes, hot veggies, and Jell-O with fruit. Now David Dickert has an announcement.
Attention all 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. If you ever wanted a cold soda during the day, well, here's your chance. If you bring 50 cents on your track and field day, you will have a chance to buy Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite, Diet Sprite, or Mr. Pibb.
Thanks. Attention all 5th graders going to cross next year. Tomorrow, Wednesday, April 27th, will be the Cross Open House. It will be held 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Sean, all the U.S. flags are flying at half-mast.
Yes, that is because the 37th President of the United States has died. Good morning, this is Sean Green with the Weekly News Update. First in national news, the 81-year-old former President of the United States, Richard Nixon, died of a stroke on Friday at 6:08 p.m. President Clinton said that Nixon gave of himself with devotion and that his country owes him a debt. Next in state news, the authorities are still looking for the hang glider pilot that almost got run down by a jet airliner in Phoenix. The pilot of the airliner said he tried to swerve out of the way, but feared for his 127 passengers. One of the passengers commented, "The plane turned so sharply that when I looked out the window, all I could see was ground." In local news, if you have any unwanted toy guns, you can get rid of them for Toros tickets. Radio station KEKO is trying to tell children that guns aren't the way to settle disputes. The station manager says, "We'll pile all the guns into a tough shed and blow it up," or something. So Lisa, what's happening in sports?
Hi, I'm Lisa Dean with your sports. Ex-University of Arizona golfer Mike Springer shows his Wildcat form by winning the Greater Greensboro Open on Sunday. The first pick for the NFL draft was Dan Wilkinson. The first Wildcat was drafted in the 2nd round. It was wide receiver Chuck Levy. He will stay in Arizona because he was drafted to the Arizona Cardinals. The U of A women's softball team won 2 games in a row. They almost lost the second, but Para hit a grand slam. So Lindsay, what's happening in the weather?
This is Lindsay Carpenter with your weather. Well, temperatures this week fell to about 70 degrees. But keep in mind, if you're night people, dress warm because it'll be about 45 degrees. If you were out and about last night, you might have seen Jupiter by the full moon. I know I did. From all of us at Hawk TV News, have a great week. For all of you 4th graders out there, we encourage